beautiful people. Here I am again. My name is Hadassah Vitar, and I want to talk to you some more about Brendon Burchard's book. I have it here. It's called High Performance Habits, and there are 6 high performance habits that he talks about. So the kind of habits that make people better performers, higher performers in whatever they do, whether it's business or life or whatever cause you might have, whatever you're doing, you're going to want to be a higher performer. And my original plan was to get through these 6 habits in 6 Facebook Lives, but yeah, I'm still on the first one, and this is my second Facebook Live about it, and there will be a third one because there's just so much. But that's okay. That's okay. We don't have to do it all at once, and we don't all have to be experts. I just wanted to really give you the gist of what he's talking about. So yesterday, I talked a bit about, in general, about the structure of the book and so on, which I'm not going to repeat. You can go back to that Facebook Live again, or you can go to my YouTube channel, where I have all of these videos are uploaded into my YouTube channel, and it's called Energy Queens, believe it or not. So yeah, that might also be a place to catch them if you don't want to go looking through Facebook Lives, and that's okay. So let me just look at my notes. One of the great quotes from that chapter on clarity, on seeking clarity, is that clarity is the child of careful thought and mindful experimentation. So clarity doesn't happen by accident. I think he says that you don't get hit by the piano of purpose. I'm not sure whether he made that up or if that's a reference to something else, but I love it. So you don't go walking down the street and all of a sudden you have clarity. I mean, it might hit you like that, but it's the result of a long process of really thinking about things. And it's interesting because he says you need to have challenging and specific goals to have clarity. Because it's, yeah, you need to be aiming for something, is basically what I think he means. If you're not aiming for something, how can you have clarity? You're just kind of floating along, then yeah, there is no clarity. Clarity is like, I imagine it as a sort of a focusing, as if you have a lens that just focuses everything so that you can understand where you're going. And he talks about the future 4, which is what I want to talk about today. So he talks about the self, your future self. Who do you want to grow into? Okay, who do you want to become? So in order to achieve clarity towards the future, you have to have some idea not only of who you are right now, which is absolutely essential to know who you are right now, but also who do you want to be? What kind of person do you want to grow into in the future? That's an important part of seeking clarity. Who do I want to be? Think about that. The second one is social. And think about all the people that you interact with. How much time do you spend thinking about your effect on them? Because as we go through life, we know that we're going to have effect on people. So you need to think about all these people. Just think about people that you interact with, and try to imagine, say before you go into a meeting with someone, try to imagine what kind of interaction you want to have with them, what kind of effect you want to have with them. How do you want to leave them feeling about you and about whatever it is that you're meeting about? So that's the second one. The third one is skills. So yeah, what skills are you going to need to achieve those goals that you're looking for the future? So in your future, what are you going to need to know? What are you going to need to be able to do that you can't do right now? Maybe you need to take some courses. Maybe you need to watch some YouTube videos about just to upgrade your skills. And he mentions in the book that high performers do this in a very specific and focused fashion. They don't just kind of wander about looking for, like, for instance, if they need to, I don't know, build an Infusionsoft campaign, which is the sort of thing that's on my mind today. They don't just kind of haphazardly wander around the net looking for Infusionsoft. They are like, okay, this is what I want to build. How do I do that? I need to learn how to do what it is that I'm planning. So they work it out, they think about what they want to do, and then they find the skills, they learn the skills that they need to upgrade to whatever it is they want to be able to do in the future. So that was number 3. Number 4 is my favorite, is service, future service. What is the purpose of all this? I mean, it's great to say that you want to have, time freedom or a bigger house or whatever, but once you've achieved those, then what are you going to do? You need to have a greater purpose in what you're doing, and thinking about that purpose for the future and the kind of service that you can be in for other people is like maybe right now you can't do much for people. Ray Higdon has this thing called Wealth Wednesday in Rank Makers, and I think Rank Makers might still be open today, rankmakers.com. But he has this thing called Wealth Wednesday, that every Wednesday you need to do some sort of a good deed for a stranger that involves a financial transaction. And it needs to be a stranger so you don't get weirdness. And the point is that it doesn't need to be big. I mean, Ray has a habit of sometimes leaving humongous tips or paying for other people's dinners or lunches or whatever. But even if you can't do that, like you can buy a Starbucks gift certificate for $10 and leave it with the barista and say, apply it to the people behind me until it's gone. I've done that. It's kind of fun to watch people's faces. I tuck myself away, or else preferably I leave, but I have been able to, certainly watching, first of all, the barista's face is wonderful to see when you give them that. They just kind of light up in amazement. And then if you can see the people who are benefiting from this without, I don't want to hang around, and it's embarrassing, kind of awkward. But it's nice. It's nice to see people's reactions to an unexpected free or reduced price Starbucks. That's not trivial, let me tell you. But the point is that even if you can't, donate $25,000 to your alma mater, you can maybe do something small, pay for the person behind you in the drive-in or whatever, drive-through or whatever, things like that. So, but thinking towards the future, maybe when you can make bigger donations, what kind of bigger donations are you going to make? Can you think now about who you're going to be? Like, these things are all connected, aren't they? Think about who you're going to be in the future when you've grown, when you are making the kind of money that's going to allow you to make a real difference in the world. All of these things. So that is a part of seeking clarity. And that's not even all of it, but that's all I'm going to talk about today, because there's more. But I think there's going to be one more Facebook Live about clarity, and then I'm going to move on to the next habit. So it's going to take a bit of a while. But anyway, I'm going to close this down, because I think that's all I want to talk about for clarity today. Furthermore, nothing to do with clarity, or maybe with clarity. As you know, I've been doing this keto challenge, and it's definitely been giving me some clarity, let me tell you. And I'd love to tell you more about it. And I'd love to teach you some things about having more energy, having a better life, and so on. So if you want to reach out to me, like, for instance, leaving me a message, you can click the button that says message, or you can leave a comment. You can click the thing that says comment. Then I can send you some of the tips that I have about becoming an energy queen, having more clarity, having a better life. And yeah, and we can have conversation, because conversation is my absolutely favorite thing. So anyway, everyone, remember I love you. Have a great evening. Talk to you again soon. Bye.